the sort of the posting online side of things, does it ever feel like, you know, a sort of a job in that sense, or is it always just been something that you're passionate to do?
I mean, I'm definitely passionate about doing it. There is a lot of the mental health side of things that I would say comes into it. Well, for a lot of people, myself included. I mean, again, it's that business card. It's like, I try and post as much as I can, but sometimes you build up the pressure so much on yourself. It's like, I'm trying to outdo myself in every video, which you can't do. I mean, that's impossible. And then that kind of weighs heavy on my mind anyway. It's like, oh God, I haven't posted a video in 2 weeks. I have to do something, and it's got to be special. And it's like, well, you know, sometimes it doesn't have to be always the best thing in the world. Just get something out there. As long as a few people enjoy it, that's all that matters. And again, it could be the right person might just happen to see it. So I need to be a lot better at that myself in terms of my own posting on Instagram in regards to like the business side of things. But again, it's my personal thing. Just enjoy it. You know, I want to enjoy it more, but I do struggle with that. You know what I mean? Trying to post as often as I can, and then thinking, no, this isn't good enough. You know, there's a million better players out there than me. They're doing better things than me. Why would you even post this crap? You know, so that kind of plays in my mind now and again, and it shouldn't. But that's just the reality of it.
Yeah, it's amazing how, and because, you know, especially when you get to a certain level of playing, there I think it almost becomes irrelevant as to how good you are. It's just about how well you do your own thing, you know. And there'll be so many people probably watching you fly across the neck doing all these walking bass lines with the things and thinking, I can't do that. But they might be able to shred like or play like riffs just for hours on end, or like, you know, there's so many other things that you can sort of fall into in your own way. But it's interesting to hear you say that, because obviously, again, a lot of people will see you having quite a big following and getting a lot of attention for these videos and getting shared by all these other, you know, bloody places that seem to post about 12 videos a day of I can't even remember the names of half of these guitar pages, but yeah, I can totally resonate with that, because I remember with my old band, I was always nervous to, something that stifled my creativity was, I was really proud of that first EP that we put out, and then I remember thinking like, oh well, it's got to be as good as that, at least it's got to be like level with. It definitely can't be worse. Like, that would just be awful. And I think then I fell into a bit of a rut, which I feel like I'm finally, genuinely, after like a couple of years really, finally starting to write stuff. I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. And I'm sort of getting a bit more like freely creative with it, without that expectation. I think it's down to, personally, I think it's down to quantity over quality, just turning stuff out. Because I remember I was reading the book Atomic Habits recently. He was talking about a study where they asked a couple of photography classes. One had to present one photo at the end of the year, and one had to present, I think, like a collection or something. And I can't remember, but either way, basically, there's one group that ended up taking loads of photos, and one group that took very few, because obviously their standard was really high. And of course, lo and behold, the ones that took all the photos ended up actually getting a better quality. I think even like this, their best image would have been of higher quality kind of thing. So I guess it's just trying to make yourself just keep, I don't mean churning stuff out in the sense of just throwing stuff on Instagram for the sake of it, but are you good at keeping that creative wheel kind of spinning, or do you ever find yourself getting stuck in that rut?
Oh, I definitely get stuck. I mean, it's interesting that you make that point, because that's what I want to do. I want to put more stuff out, you know, instead of just doing like one every month or something where it's high quality. Because I mean, my problem is, from just me personally, when I'm doing a video, it has to be perfect. You know, it has to be 100%. Or I aim for perfection. Yeah, I know you can't really do that, you know, all that often. So in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, right, aim for perfection. If you fall slightly short of perfection, the standard is still going to be, you know, very, very, very high. But there's a lot of pressure associated with that. You know, it's like I could spend, and I have done it on numerous occasions. I've spent like three and a half hours trying to do a 60-second Instagram video here at home. You know, and it's like, I get stressed out, I get frustrated. Then my playing starts to diminish. It's like the stress is, you know, is it's no good for me. Just put out more stuff where, it doesn't have to be the most complex or craziest thing in the world. Just put something out there. You'll enjoy it. Other people are definitely going to enjoy it. Just do more of that, and then every now and again, it could be something really special, put that out. But it's interesting that you mentioned, like you said, the churning stuff out, of, still very good quality over once, every couple of months of, oh, wow, that was great. I'm not going to see him now for another 6 months, I
want to start treating my Instagram more as I haven't posted anything like playing wise on there for, I don't know, probably nearly a year, probably, I guess. I don't know. And I want to start treating it more as like my own little diary of what I'm doing, because I figured like if you post something that's not that great, yeah, sure, like some people just scroll past, so they might like it and go or whatever. But I don't think they're going to, unless you're just consistently posting garbage, I don't think anyone's going to leave, some might, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like, and then when you post that great video or that great piece of music, whatever it happens to kind of be, then people will be there, I don't think, I think a lot of people perhaps worried about putting across that kind of, oh, hang on, this wasn't perfect, but here's what I've done. And I'm almost tempted to start treating it. There's a guy I saw, I can't for the life of me remember, annoyingly, I think he follows the podcast, so I can't remember his name on Instagram, but I think what he does is I've seen him post stuff and it'll be like, sketch number, whatever, like 300. And that way it's not like, here's my next song, it's just, this is what I've done today or in the last, I was almost a little annoyed at myself. I wrote a little acoustic piece the other day and I've still not done anything with it because I just can't play it as well as I want to yet. I really feel like maybe I should just post a really tacky video just so I've done it. But I don't know. I want it sounding good. So it's like, I don't know where.
Well, no, I know exactly what you mean, and I like the idea of someone posting, sketch number 300, because I'd love to do that myself. There's an idea I came up with literally an hour ago. Take it or leave it. Here you go. But to do it consistently, like I'd love to post every couple of days. But it's that thing in the back of your head. Oh, it's got to be top quality. Blah blah blah. So I mean, it's interesting. I'd love to do it. I've toyed with the ideas of doing videos of how to play. Little mini lessons. I'd love to do that. But then I think, right, well, Rick Beato's got that down, so there's no point in you doing it. He's the champion of that. But again, this time of year as well, I had New Year's resolutions. Right, post mini lessons on your story every day. Try and post twice a week. Blah blah blah. Try and practice for 6 hours a day. None of which has happened, and January's almost over. I haven't done any of that. But there's still, I think it is important to have goals. The expectations might not be the most realistic, but if you can achieve some of them or half of them or whatever, you will feel proud. Do you know what I mean? Like if I was to say, right, I'm going to practice for 6 hours today, working on stuff that I'm no good at, and I got through half of that, I'm instantly better than I was, 3 hours before. And it's like, oh, right, I've got more knowledge now. If I did that for a week, that's huge.